Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. In the last episode we were approached by an Heaven Edge counselor who was trying to convince us to talk to our friends and maybe call off this run to the flotilla. But I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to carry on trying to do this. We are really running out of time, and I actually don't know if I can do this. Peak's plan, we need another 2 things, which means we kind of need... What do we need? Do we need to upgrade the ship? We do. We need to do the Briar upgrade, and also the cordon operations. We need to make a blind spot, which should be easy enough. We can kind of do this with low roll dice, but it only gives us a +1. So we'd have to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. That's a lot. The other thing we need to do, we need to get the food. The algae stack. And that is also, we get a +1 for that, but also risky. So we have a few things we need to try and focus on here. I'm thinking maybe we do the algae just so, because we have it. Is there anything that I can fail here? What is the other thing? Am I just being stupid? That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Peak's plan is the cordon, right? So that's the engines and the blind spot. Yeah, engines, blind spot, and this is just the algae. How am I going to get the engines? Good lord, I think that's the thing I have the lowest for, with a really high danger, so I think maybe we use our 6 there, but then on the other hand, it might be easier for me to get this done first, because it's only a +1. Good god, I don't think we actually have enough time. We literally only have 3 days. I guess we're just gonna have to see how it goes. And then we got a what? We got a +1 here. Food for the flotilla. We do get a 2 times. I mean, filling up the cargo hold might be... I mean, filling up the cargo hold is completely pointless if we can't break the cordon. Maybe I should focus on going through the cordon. Then if I make it through the cordon without any food, that's also kind of pointless. Let's throw a 5 in here. You can freely harvest the edible algae to ship to the refugee flotilla. Even Ash admits it has a pleasant, earthy taste. This should make it go up by 2. Maybe knock down one of these? Okay, so we can only do 3 here. So it might be in my interest to try and do this 3 times, because it's going to have to grow back. Okay, then 1 more time. So then we've run out of food for the flotilla. We only need to do this 1 more time. In theory, I could accelerate the growth and then harvest it again, and then we'd have everything we need, but then that would I might do that, actually. Let's do that. Okay, and then use our 6. We're starving, huh? Do I have to wait for it to fully go up before I can do this again? No. I had to leave and come back. Okay, that's all the algae we need. You work carefully and attentively and manage to maximize the yield of the stack with little to no wastage. Okay. You're leaning against the metal crates you just loaded up with algae, packed and dried into bright green pucks. Ash hops onto one beside you, flexing her aching back. Oh, I hope the refugees like algae. Ash squints at you, as if you just interrupted her train of thought. It's a look you have become familiar with. Doesn't matter either way. This is what we've got, she sighs, rubbing the back of her neck. In these past cycles, working the algae stack with Ash, you've had little insight into her mind. She rarely seems happy to start a conversation, but is always eager to end one. Despite this, you feel like something has grown between you, something like silent trust, the kind that tends to seed itself in the fertile soil of hard but necessary work. There's something I've been meaning to ask. Ash raises her head cautiously. Go on. Why are you helping the flotilla? Ash pauses, her protective instinct fighting with the trust you've built. And see her begin to shrug the question off. Then she stops, rethinks, sighs. What you need to understand, Sleeper, is that Erlin's Eye wasn't the only place where the Solheim collapse happened. Sure, Hawthorne, where we grew up, was an XPR installation, but that didn't screen it from Solheim going under. Actually, Solheim was the only reason XPR were ever here. He pauses, hesitant to get into the whole story, but wanting to offer something. We, she flinches, correcting herself. They are a service corps. You understand. They set up outposts in surrogate systems like this to offer refueling, logistics and maintenance services to bigger companies with extraction contracts. She gestures to the eye around her, like Solheim. When Solheim went bust, XPR lost their client, and Hawthorne, well, we lost everything. We became an outpost tasked with just holding on. Keep the refueling platforms running, they said. Keep the outpost stable. Hold on to our claim. He rubs at her head, as if recalling all this was somehow physically painful. Do you know what it is like to spend your entire life in a place with no future? A place that only exists to hold a legal claim to a piece of territory, the shored up breach of contract negotiations between two corporations. It's like living in a... He searches for a word, her eyes jumping back and forth. In a grave. She clenches her hands. So if you're looking for the answer to why questions, that's your answer. We, Peak and I, know what it's like to be forgotten, to be locked out. She stares hard at the side of the stack, the algae whirling against the glass in beautiful patterns, and she doesn't look away. The silence extends, and you realise the conversation is over. Esh seems angry. Not at you, but with herself, for even voicing such ideas. After a while, you stand and start to load the crates onto the powered cargo trolley that Esh will run back to the Briar. As you do, try to catch her eye, but she avoids it, soothing herself instead with the comforting simplicity of physical work. Hey, we gained another upgrade point. Let's go eat something with our friend Enthus. Where are you, Memphis? There you are. He's around here somewhere. We can use some of this money. I'm surprised no options have come up for us to commune the fact that we came across the counsellor from Heaven Edge. I'm guessing it'll be important if we fail or if right before we go off. Because all we have left to do now is Peak's plan, right? 3 days to do 2 things that both require 6 passes. Ugh. And we only get 5 dice a day, so let's hope we get some good rolls. Let's can we rest up here? We can, can't we? We can rest in the Briar's Bay. Let's end the cycle. Oh, that's a really bad roll. Oh my god. Sleeper? Peak is waiting for you when you leave, but they look different, pale, drawn out. You need to come up to the Briar now. They don't meet your eye. What's happened? Not here, Peak hisses. Come to the ship. We'll be waiting. Peak walks away. Don't take long. And with that, they disappear around the corner, leaving you anxious and confused. Oh, hi Moritz. I didn't expect to see you here. Sleeper, long time. Moritz is smiling at you when you leave, clearly happy to see you again. Moritz, good to see you. Same. He rubs his hands on his jacket. How have you been? Oh, working hard. I'll bet, he grins. Well, you're always welcome to hang at the bay if you want. He glances around. Actually, that's why I'm here. I know Bliss said she didn't want to take any more big jobs, but she's changed her mind or something. He grins. Because now we have someone looking for a refit of their ship in our bay. You would not believe it. They want their entire ship disarmed, cutting out defense arrays, weapon lockers, ship-to-ship countermeasures. A whole lot. He leans in. We'll be able to start up an arms dealership with all the hardware we'll have there when we're done. He laughs. Anyway, it's a massive job, and we need some hands. Bliss said to go get you. So, come on up. Bliss is waiting on you to accept the job. He pauses. It'll be good to have you up there again. He grins. Like old times. Uh-oh. Oh, and there's a thing to talk about over there. That's probably not good. But hang on, let me just go check if the Bliss contract has a timer on it. I hope it doesn't, because that could cause problems. To send the hub? It does not, but I think I have to talk to her before the day ends. So let's work on what we're working on first. Carry on with Flux for now. Let's make sure I'm not about to get shot or something. As you walk into the Climbing Briar's cavernous bay, now filled with crates and containers, Esh is waiting for you. In front of her, sliced open, with its inside scattered across the top of a heavy-duty crate, is an object you recognize. Helene's drone. You freeze. Come in, quick! Pig nudges you into the bay, looking behind you before sealing the entryway. We have to start being careful. You move closer to the container, your eyes on the drone splayed out in pieces. Some parts of it hooked up to a slate that Peak picks up and begins tapping away at. Esh looks up from the dissection. We caught it buzzing around nearby, heading for the ship. She leans over and taps the HA sigil on one of the removed pieces of plating. It's Evaned's spy. We think we got it before it sent data back, but we can't be sure. Peak looks at you nervously. Esh cuts in. Have you noticed anyone watching you? Any drones like this? Anyone following you up to the Briars? I've seen this drone before, I'm going to be honest, because they might find a recording of me. Anyway. I've seen this drone. Esh frowns. Following you? I met its owner. Esh pauses for a while, Peak looking between the two of you. Explain, Sleeper, Esh says quietly. I'm going to tell them about Helene. You explain that you met with Helene at the cordon, and you tell Esh and Peak about what she told you. The Heaven Edge Council are debating lifting the quarantine, but they are blocked by the hardliners. You speak faster and faster, but before you can finish, Esh walks away in anger and then comes back again, her eyes burning. What is this, Sleeper? Have you understood nothing from what we've told you? He paces in front of you. Heaven Edge are not your friends. They are administrators, which means they are interested only in their own power, their own survival, their own causes. They divide people as easily as sorting livestock. The greater good of their work demands it. The wider project of the station, the colony, the nation. Her eyes are wide as she speaks, her anger barely contained. I didn't have a choice in the matter. Peak cuts in. Listen to them, please. Esh, they're with us. Peak glances between you two. What was the Sleeper supposed to do? They were ambushed by this Helene. Say I only listened, or she's trying to help? Let's go with she's trying to help. Let me tell you something, Sleeper, Esh says, her rage hardening into pain. When people become administrators, they give up something. Some part of being human, being an equal among others, goes away. They start talking about the greater good, the systems, the ways in which their hands are tied or their processes compromised. My mother was the administrator of Hawthorne, and I have seen what it did to her. That noble, higher calling, it is toxic. People should never have the chance to decide the fate of others, and those that do do so at the cost of their humanity. Peak tries to cut in, but Ash holds up a hand. Don't stop, Peak. Don't ask me to be reasonable or calm down. Thousands of people are desperate out there. Being reasonable will only prolong their suffering. Lynn can help though. I mean, she probably can help. I don't know. This sucks. I don't know what side to be on. The law-following man inside of me is like, well, they're the administrators, and if they really do want to help, maybe she's telling the truth. I mean, we can't write her off as just being evil just because she's in charge of something. She's working within the limits she has. She came to us secretly, without the knowledge of the other people. I don't know. It's not quite as cut and dry as she's the bad guy. I'm going to say she can help. Ash turns away. I'm done with this. You're risking this entire supply run just by being here. He walks back into the bay and starts checking the straps on the crates. I'll go next cycle. We don't need you anymore. Get out. Oh, okay, well. Sleeper. Pete looks torn. You have to understand. This is personal for Ash. Yeah, I know. Pete looks away, then at Ash. I don't know, Sleeper. I just don't know what to do. You glance around the bay of the Briar, the walls seeming closer every second. This whole thing is closing in on you, and the question is, where do you want to be when it all collapses? You look at Peak. What do you think, Sleeper? Peak rubs their forehead. Should we do this thing or not? I mean, we're not ready. If we're going next cycle, I turned my 3 days into 1 day. I don't know. Peak nods. Me neither. They look at Ash. But you see her. She knows, and she's saved my life. I'm going to say we do it. They squeeze your shoulder. Onward. They slip away to help Ash, leaving you alone to replay the conversation in your head. A sudden kind of grim determination settling in the room. Last chance to prepare. Okay, now we have 2 days still. Unless it's going to automatically push me forward, which is probably what's going to happen, let's be honest. Let's see if we can make a blind spot, because I feel the engine's less important than the blind spot, but I don't know if it works like that. We get a +2, so I'm going to use this 4 here. Good lord. The chances of this actually working are very slim, huh? If I re-roll these and they're all 6s or 5s, or 4s I suppose, will be quite good. I mean, 2 of them are 4, thanks. Some careful sabotage to the cordon systems should create a sensor gap that will allow the Briar to bypass the automatic quarantine systems. Yeah, we got 5 cryo. And then I have a 1 that I can turn into a 3. Do I want to raise? Do I want to risk raising the Heaven Edge suspicion? I mean, it's a 25% chance to be really positive. Cross your fingers. Takes a long time to work your way through the access protocols, leaving you a limited amount of time to cover your tracks. Okay, well we still got a few more here. We need 1 more good dice in here, and then it's trying to slice the engines. I don't think we have enough time here. I can upgrade Engineer, but that doesn't really help me that much, does it? I think we need to talk to Bliss. Not going to let me rest without doing it. So, firstly, let's go get some food at Emphasis Stall. Hunger's looking a little low here. Okay. And I think I'll go talk to Bliss. Should I do this in the next episode? I don't know if there's enough time here. Should I do it now? Let's do it now. It'll be fine. The episode can run a little bit longer if it needs to. When you enter the bay, it is weirdly quiet. Moritz must be out on some errand, and Maybe Bliss is prepping the kid. Oh my god, it's Ankita. Sleeper. Ankita is drifting at one side of the bay. You missed her completely when you came in. The ambergris. The idea of not seeing Ankita when you entered a room would have seemed unlikely to you several cycles ago. But seeing her without her armor, she seems smaller, less imposing. Oh, you finally got rid of the armor. He ignores your remark. So, what is this? He asks. Come to avenge Ashton? Or his sleeper? Or just looking for another payout? Her anger is familiar, but quieter than before. Restrained. Yeah, I don't actually want to fight. I haven't fallen out with you. The game is forcing me to fall out with you. I don't actually want it. Then why are you here? He looks away. And you can tell her anger isn't directed at you in particular. It radiates off her like fire. You better be ready to sign, comes a shout from the bay entrance, because I've got my best repair tech coming up here, especially, and they're going to... Bliss glides in and suddenly stops herself when she sees you and Ankita standing off. Oh, Sleeper, you're already here. Miss Cazetta, this is the tech I was telling you about. The best on the her... She stops, looking between the two of you. Wait, do you two know each other? We work together. Bliss squints at you both before continuing. Bliss produces a slate. Now, Miss Cazetta, if you'd like to sign our damage waiver, here we can start on the decommissioning. He looks at you. My tech here is eager to get started, as am I. Ankita scrawls her signature across the slate. Thank you. Bliss pauses. And everything is okay with the special payment terms we discussed? She gives Ankita a strange smile. All fine, says Ankita, giving you another hard look. Then she kicks off and drifts to the entrance. I'll be in the gimbal, she says, and leaves. Special payment terms? She looks over her glasses at you. Look, Sleeper, there's something I have to tell you. She glances around again. What is she so nervous about? This isn't exactly a typical job. Miss Ankita. She gives you a knowing look. She doesn't have the chits to pay us, so we've made a special agreement. She signs. I'm leaving. You're leaving? Keep it down, I haven't told Moritz yet. He looks down. Just waiting to break it to him. Don't you tell him either. She stares hard at you. I'll tell him when I'm ready, and I don't want him getting worried about Ankita's history. He can be very protective. You should tell him. Look, all I care is that she's heading for the Starward Belt. He looks out of the bay. That's where I'm heading. He turns back to face you. Also, I wanted to ask. He stops, unsure. If you'd like to come with us. I mean, I would. He interrupts before you answer. I know things have been hard for you on the Eye, and you helped me so much. I asked Ankita if she'd carry two of us, and she said yes. Moritz will take over the bay anyway, although if you stay, you're welcome to help him run it. I just thought... He sighs. You might be in need of a fresh start as much as I am. He turns away nervously. Think about it anyway. The berth is there. We've got to finish the job first anyway. And with that, she kicks away and heads to the racks before you can offer an answer. Moments later, Moritz enters with a new cutting torch for the disarming of the ambergris. Stalwart belt. Push your thoughts to the back of your mind. Time to get to work. This seems really sad. Taking apart the ambergris. We spent so long trying to fix the damn thing. But I think this is where I shall end the episode. I'm going to leave that not done for a while, because I think that might be an end step. Like, you know, roll credits sort of thing. You know, we escaped the eye and we went into the Starwood Belt. It's probably my preferred ending. It's a nice one. I don't know if there are other endings. I'm sure there is. But either way, thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you again to the members of the channel. It helps me keep making these videos. And as always, see you next time.